Peace and blessings multiply to you and yours, and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Most High God, the Savior to those that keep His commandments. Hope everybody is having a great day today. Hope everybody's staying strong and thanking the Most High He allowed us to wake up and see another day with His precious breath of life. Now, once again, I apologize. I had uploaded a video a little while ago and had technical difficulties, no volume. So since it's only a 10-minute video approximately, I'm going to upload it again, and this time with the corrected issue. Okay? This is the truth about Thanksgiving. So I got some links in here to Wikipedia and Google, as well as a history book as well. So let me get started. All right. Now. Okay. About to show you, this is a link when you go to Wikipedia asking about Thanksgiving. And what does it say? It says that Thanksgiving is prayers of thanks, and special Thanksgiving ceremonies are common among almost all religions after harvest and at other times. Well, harvest, the Lord has harvest feasts in the Bible, right? You can read that in Leviticus 23. Okay? All right. It says, the Thanksgiving holiday's history in North America is rooted in English traditions dating from the Protestant Reformation. Whoa, wait a minute. The Protestant Reformation, okay. That's when a group of different people broke away from the Catholic Church, right? Because they say the Pope was infallible, which means that ain't nothing he say or do is wrong. So they found that to be false, right? Because he's a man, he's human, right? And his doctrine is contrary to Scripture. However, the Protestant Reformation, all the Protestant churches that came out of the Catholic Church still do what the Pope say. They still do the same thing. All right? So keep that in mind. It says it also has aspects of a harvest festival. Wait a minute. A harvest festival. But you can do further research on your own that these harvest festivals wasn't the harvest festival of the Bible. They were harvest festivals for agricultural gods and goddesses. Paganism. All right? It says, even though the harvest in New England occurs well before the late November date on which the modern Thanksgiving holiday is celebrated. That should tell you something. It's pagan. All right. In the English tradition, days of Thanksgiving and special Thanksgiving religious services became important during the English Reformation in the reign of Henry VIII, and in reaction to the large number of religious holidays on the Catholic calendar. Wait a minute. On the Catholic calendar? But I thought y'all broke away from the Catholic Church. Yeah, I wonder about that. All right. It says before 1536, there were 95 church holidays plus 52 Sundays. When people were required to attend church and forego work and sometimes pay for expensive celebrations. That's their holy day, Sunday. But when you read the Bible, the Lord Himself, as well as the prophets and the apostles, kept the Sabbath day. All right? Big difference. Now, all right. Moving on. Now, here's some history, some more history on Wikipedia surrounding the Thanksgiving. It says, later in Massachusetts, religious Thanksgiving services were declared by civil leaders, such as Governor Bradford, who planned the colony's Thanksgiving celebration and feast in 1623. In the late 1630s, however, Governor Bradford declared this holiday with new meaning. After the Pico, which is an Indian tribe, after the Pico were blamed for the killing of a white man, the colonizers began burning down their villages and killing others who did not perish in the fires. Wait a minute. What? Are you kidding me? These English settlers in New England, Governor Bradford, and they started killing these Pico Indians. Watch what it says. This is about Thanksgiving now. Look it up for yourself. It says hundreds of Pico were killed, leading Governor Bradford to proclaim that Thanksgiving from then on would be celebrating the bloody victory, thanking God that the battle had been won. Wait a minute now. Governor Bradford thanked God for the bloody victory? So he thanked God that he killed a bunch of Indians. Ain't that something? And he said from then on, Thanksgiving gonna have a new meaning, that we slaughtered these Indians. And we thank God for it, right? So I don't know about you, but me personally, if a custom or tradition of my family was to celebrate or honor the slaughter of another people, I would morally and ethically think and know in my heart that that's not right. Is it right? So does God, even though Governor Bradford thanked God for killing them Indians, does God think this right? Doesn't God's commandment say, thou shalt not kill? But they killed them anyway. Hypocrisy is their democracy. All right. Show you something else. It says the Wampanoag, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Algonquin-speaking North American Indians who formerly occupied, wait a minute, you pick up on that, formerly occupied, right? Okay. Formerly occupied parts of what are now the states of Rhode Island and Massachusetts, including Martha's Vineyard and adjacent islands. They were traditionally semi-sedentary, moving seasonally between fixed sites. Corn, maize was the staple of their diet, supplemented by fish and game. The tribe comprised several villages, each with its own local chief or sachem. Hope I pronounced that correctly. Nah. Let's go to the next thing on this. Still talking about the same Wampanoag. In 1620, the Wampanoag High Chief Massasoit, I hope I pronounced that correctly, made a peace treaty with the Pilgrims who landed in the tribe's territory. They did what? They made a peace treaty with the Pilgrims who landed in their territory. Okay? All right. The treaty was observed until Massasoit's death. Bad treatment by settlers who encroached on tribal lands. Wait a minute. They treated the treated the Indians what? Said bad treatment. Okay. Bad treatment by settlers who encroached on tribal lands, however, led his son Metacom, or Metacomet, known to the English as King Philip, to organize a confederacy of tribes to drive out the colonists. The colonists eventually defeated and killed King Philip and other leading chiefs, and the Wampanoag and Narragansett were almost exterminated. Said they were what? They were almost exterminated, which means almost completely wiped out. All those Indians. Still talking about Thanksgiving. All right? Because we've been raised in grammar or elementary school and so on with this sweet, cuddly version of Thanksgiving. Oh, we're supposed to be peaceful and we're supposed to settle with the Indians and make peace. But before peace ever came, they killed a bunch of folks. Hypocrisy is their democracy. All right? Plain and simple. It says wipe them out. It says we're almost exterminated. All right. And you look further down and say disease and epidemics destroyed most of the indigenous people who lived on Nantucket. Yeah, okay. All right. Moving on. Just showing you some examples. Now, let's see. All right. Now, okay. Has anyone ever heard of this guy, Louis or Louis Michel, Prime Minister of Belgium? I believe his reign as Prime Minister was over with in 2019 last year. I'm not sure. He may still be. But this guy says that, oh, he made a statement. I'm gonna show you what that statement is. Wait a minute, hold up. I'm gonna show you what that statement is, and the reason why I'm bringing up this guy is because he made a very controversial statement. You can look his name up too on Google. And I'm bringing his name up because of the simple fact that it's very similar to the same belief that it's cool to honor the slaughter of another people. All right? See what this guy said about, anybody ever heard of King Leopold II? All right? I'm going to show you. It says in 2010, Michel called King Leopold II of Belgium the Congo Free State's colonial master, responsible for the deaths of between 3 million and 10 million Congolese Africans, a visionary hero. What? He called King Leopold a visionary hero after he slaughtered millions of Congolese Africans. Really? So, just like that's almost synonymous with me. Like I was speaking to my wife earlier about who was that guy that was in Waco, Texas, that, had that cult and all them people killed? David Koresh, the Branch Davidians, right? David Koresh had all them people following him, and he got all them people killed, and himself, right? So that's like me putting that man on a pedestal, saying, oh, David Koresh, he was the man. We should follow his ways, right? I would be crazy for saying that, right? Same way this guy is crazy for saying what he said. All right, he called King Leopold a visionary, like he was such a great man. So don't think he's the only one that thinks like this, okay? There are many others in the world today. All right, which means what? They don't care about nobody but themselves. All right? So to bring the aspect of Thanksgiving to a person like that, they probably say, kill them all. Kill them all and take their land. And ain't that what happened in America? Sure did. It's recorded history. Now, here's a picture of King Leopold II. And, all right. And I looked him up because I got this history book, if you can see it. It's a little bright. It's called History of Slavery. So I looked King Leopold up in this book. All right. Just to find out some things about him that I didn't know. Here's another picture of him. And this is on, I believe, Google or Wikipedia. It says, ranging from 1 million to 15 million deaths. This dude was wicked. And people honor this man? They honor what he did? Really? Okay. We are living in a wicked society, a wicked world. No doubt about it. Now, this is page 218 in this book. And it says at the top, you can't see it, but it says at the top, the atrocities, no, not atrocity, it says the atrocity in the Congo. And you see his picture right there, right? Because he's the cause of the atrocity. All right. So an example of what he did. This is page 220. He cut these people's hands off. Cut their hands off. Dude cut their hands off because they didn't meet their quota. They were slaves. So he cut their hands off. They had stumps. That's what they're doing like this. Ain't that wicked? Similar things happened to the Indians in America with this so-called Thanksgiving. All right. I'll show you something else and I'll move on. Now, here's a man holding somebody's hand that was cut off. Ain't that something? Man. And that's supposed to be cool, right? That's supposed to be cool. I don't think so. So, woo-wee. What does the Lord say about this? I'm going to touch on it in where the Lord himself say in the New Testament, because we got a lot of people that claim to be New Testament Christians that celebrate this Thanksgiving. See what the Lord says. I'm going to touch on it. But before that, let's see a more sure word of prophecy in the Old Testament, Jeremiah 10. What does Jeremiah 10 say? What does the prophet of the Lord say? Jeremiah 10. And I got a picture of it from Bible Gateway too, so you can see it and read along with me. Jeremiah 10, beginning with verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Whoa. He said, what? Learn not the way of the heathen. What are heathen? Non-believers in him. They believe in pagan gods, agricultural gods with their little pagan feasts. They do wickedness. They sacrifice children to devils. They have doctrines of devils, etc., 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 etc. When wickedness is done, it's nothing to them. Jeremiah 10, verse 2 again. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Lord say, don't do this, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. What is that? What does vain mean? Good for nothing. Because I'm saying, even if this Thanksgiving celebration wasn't pagan, wasn't predicated off of worshiping agricultural pagan gods, even if it wasn't pagan, it's still surrounding the killing of folks. And you ain't supposed to do that. Plain and simple. Say it's vain, which means good for nothing. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. Wait a minute. This is telling you about another way of the heathen coming up next month. All right, pay attention. It says, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe, they deck it with silver and with gold. Oh, what is that? Christmas, Xmas. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but they speak not. That's right, it's good for nothing. Plain and simple. This is what the Lord tell you, that you can't find Christmas in the Bible. And matter of fact, he also tell you nothing about his birthday in the Bible. He tell you to honor his death, and you do that by keeping his feast, the Passover. All right? But what does the world do? They do something completely different. All right? Now, go to the New Testament, John 15. John 15, beginning with verse 18. Say, if the world hates you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world will love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. Ain't that a big clue? Say, the Lord chose you, so the world hates you. Verse 20, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. Because that's all we do is bring the truth. Verse 21, but all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. Because they have no knowledge of the Father. Verse 22, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. Ooh. Lord said, I done told them. I've warned them. I sent the prophets to warn them. I sent the disciples to warn them. Now they can't hide no more. So you do these traditions of man, you sinning against God. It has nothing to do with him. But what people do, they do it anyway. And that's the killing part about it. People know it's pagan. They know they doing paganism. So that shows that they want to go to hell. All right. Moving on. Moving on. Almost done too. Thank you for bearing with me. Say, he that hated me hated my Father also. So you doing these traditions of man, you hate the Lord and his Father. Revelation 18, this be last. This future here. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen. Wait a minute. Babylon the Great ain't fallen yet. We are in the midst of Babylon to this day. So this is future. All right? Say, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Ain't it a big hatred to celebrate a so-called holiday, killing folks? Ain't that hateful? All right. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Whoa! Ain't that the truth? Every time you got one of these pagan celebrations come, what do people do? Run to the stores and spend their money, making the merchants of the earth rich. No, wait a minute, richer, okay? And who the main ones doing it? And we the poorest on the planet. Wake up, my people. Verse 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. That's right. And where's she going to end up? Burned in the lake of fire with unquenchable fire. So he said, don't receive of her plagues, come out of her, or you're going to get the same thing she going to get. Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots. What are harlots? Whores, spiritual whores, okay? We grown. All right. So that's the end of it. Just a few facts about many facts that's the truth about Thanksgiving, that we ain't supposed to be doing that. Not just on a spiritual level, on a moral level as well. You gotta figure out what you're gonna do. You gonna keep doing wickedness against God, or you gonna come out of the world and into the truth. Because doing Easter, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year,